The air is officially crisp, the heating is kicking on, and that means my beauty routine has had a total seasonal shakeup. Hi everyone, my name is Salima, and in today's video, I am sharing all of my October favorites. I have pulled up my top shelf items from skincare, hair care, perfume, and makeup that has been in my constant easy grab rotation last month. Let's dive in. Alright, let's kick things off with skincare. The priority for me these months is keeping the eczema at bay. You know, my skin is super dry and eczema prone, so as soon as that heat kicks on, I need something heavy duty. This is my savior, the AESTURA 80 Barrier 365 cream. I was using it just at night, but now it made the leap to my morning routine because my skin just needed that extra TLC. I used to grab this from YesStyle, but it's finally available at Sephora. So now it's super easy to get your hands on. It's incredibly nourishing and indulgent, doesn't feel thick or greasy, and absorbs super quickly. I like that it's not sticky or dewy, so your makeup just sits perfectly on top. Plus, it's totally fragrance free and sensitive skin friendly. When you look at the ingredients, it's chock full of ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol. Basically, it's everything you needed to repair a tired, damaged skin barrier. So, if you're like me and your skin hates the cold, or if you're using heavy duty actives, you absolutely need to try this. Speaking of heavy duty, if I'm using actives at night, I layer the Estura cream with the Laneige cream skin toner. Seriously, this combo is chef's kiss. Just one layer of that Laneige toner is super nourishing. And then when you put this Estora moisturizer on top, it just seals the deal. I wake up with the most plump and nourished skin. It just doesn't feel dry at all, and I'm totally ready for makeup the next morning. Next up, let's talk makeup. I think I shared the Clé de Peau foundation in my August favorites as well, but honestly, it has fought its way back to my top shelf this October. I did switch it up briefly. I was trying the Victoria Beckham foundation to review for you guys, and don't get me wrong, that's great too. But this one keeps calling my name. This is easily one of the most expensive foundation in my whole collection. But I have been reaching for it constantly, and you can clearly see I have put a good dent in it. So that tells you something, right? The reason why I love it so much is how it sits on my skin. It's a light coverage foundation, but it's incredibly moisturizing. It's not heavy or thick at all. It gives you coverage, but it works hard to keep my skin hydrated, which is exactly what my dry skin needs right now. It just puts a ton of life back into my face. It makes my skin look like my skin, but slightly perfected, blurred, and a little bit radiant. I only need a tiny small amount to get that desired light coverage. And keep in mind, this isn't a foundation you can really build up for full coverage. So I like it for natural, polished makeup look. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you need to go and buy this right away because it definitely comes with a high price tag. But I bought it, I am genuinely enjoying it, and I'm using it. So I just wanted to share this major October favorite with you guys. I finally gave my Sarah Krill concealer a break. I was using that thing nonstop, so I replaced it with the Westman Atelier Skin Concealer last month. I first got shade T2, which was way too dark for me even in the summer. So then I grabbed M3, which is what I'm using now. I was mixing T2 and M3 for a bit during the summer months, but now that we're officially transitioning into the cooler months, M3 is going to work perfectly on its own. It's lightweight, but the actual consistency is on the creamy side. You only need a tiny amount and you end up getting full coverage. Yes, this is definitely a full coverage concealer. It sets down to a satin finish on the skin, so it's not super glowy or radiant, but it's not flat matte either. It's that perfect in between satin. I like to use a damp sponge to blend it around my eyes. For my skin, I honestly don't think this concealer needs any powder. But if you're someone who just cannot skip that finishing powder, you only need a tiny bit to set it. The wear time is phenomenal. It stays very well during my 9 to 5 day, so I don't feel like I need to touch up, and it's not settling into my fine lines, which is awesome. All right, moving on to blushes. I'm already in the fall mood, so I've been pulling out all of my terracottas, burnt oranges, deep reds, and burgundy shades. And my absolute favorite has been the Road Pocket Blush in Toasted Teddy. This shade is a stunning warm terracotta. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. I love the effect it creates. I go on with a super light hand, and you have the ability to build up the color as much as you want. The formula is so creamy and blendable, it's practically foolproof. You don't have to be super careful with it. It's got this gorgeous, radiant finish that makes me look so plump, fresh, and perfectly sunburned. You know that kind of healthy, sunburned glow? Totally in the mood for fall. It just melts right in. Speaking of these deeper shades, I know I promised you guys a dedicated blush video. Well, I am pre recording two different blush videos, one on all of my favorite terracotta shades and one dedicated to my red blushes. I also picked up the new Hermes limited edition blush and the brand new Huda Beauty blush palettes. Yes, you're going to get my straightforward, honest review and a lot of comparisons coming your way. Those videos will go live one by one right after this October favorites video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss those videos. Moving on, you guys know I couldn't just pick one blush, so I have to share my second blush favorite from October. It is the Gucci Luminous Matte Powder Blush in the shade Soft Red. Were the Road blushes all about that creamy radiance? This Gucci one is all about perfection and blur. This shade is a soft red with a touch of orange, and it sets down to a soft matte finish. The effect it creates on the cheeks is incredible. It makes the skin look instantly smooth, and I get this diffuse flush without looking flat or powdery. This is a red blush that is not intimidating at all. So, if you're someone who thinks red blushes are too bold, or if you feel like they don't go well with your skin tone or makeup style, you have to try this one. It's super safe, beautiful way to enter the red blush club. All right, the last blush I wanted to share with you guys is the Glossier Cloud Paint Plush Blush in the shade Gale. These kinds of muted, dusty rose shades are always going to be on my top shelf because they are a complete no brainer for me. I can literally be unsure about my whole makeup look, but if I pull out shades like this, it just works. This is what makes me look instantly put together, especially when I'm heading out to my corporate job and I don't want anything too bold. This formula diffuses beautifully and creates that lovely smoothing effect on the cheeks. I think I have four shades from this line, and honestly, this cloud paint launch from Glossier is just excellent. It is so easy to work with, it lasts all day on me, but this specific muted shade, I love it. In fact, if I want some extra luminosity and glow, I actually love to pair it with the Chanel Holiday 2025 blush duo that I reviewed for you guys in my last video. I take a light layer of that peach shade from the duo and apply it right on top of the Glossier blush, and it instantly adds that delicate layer of radiance. Both of these products are stunning, but they create a gorgeous look together. A bronzer that I pulled out of my collection this October, and I'm honestly wondering why I put it down. It's the NARS Cream Bronzer in Laguna 2. This formula is just so creamy. For me, because it has a neutral undertone, this is a true bronzer contour hybrid. It is not overly warm, so it's ideal for adding depth and a natural definition to your cheeks, not just warmth. I love that it sculpts my cheekbones and my jawline and add this natural, subtle definition and depth to my entire face. It creates that natural shadow-like effect. Keep in mind that this is very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. But the blendability is amazing. It blends so easily and sets down to a natural finish on the skin. I usually only pull this out when I need that perfect definition, but honestly, it is such a beautiful shade and the formula is just impeccable. And since we are talking about bronzers, my other favorite from October is the Givenchy Prism Lip Bronzer. If you remember, I shared this with you guys as a Sephora sale recommendation because to me, this is just that great of a product. To me, the quad design is genius because it gives me a total control without having to be a makeup artist about it. You get four different shades here. That means you can always customize the depth and the color you want on your cheeks. You can be a total beginner and just throw your brush across all four shades, and you will get a beautiful, soft, natural looking bronzing effect on the skin. Or you can be a little more playful with it, using those different shades to increase or decrease the dimension you want. It instantly gives me that natural dimension I love, and the powder is so finely milled, it's just easy to blend. I also use it on my eyes for a quick bit of color. So, if you want a bronzer that does it all for you and gives you control over the final look, this is absolutely it. Alright, now let's talk about lips. Just like my blushes, I have switched up my lip shades for the season. I have been reaching more and more for those mocha and chocolate brown kind of tones, and also leaning heavily into that deep wine and burgundy shades. It just feels right for October. And the first product I have to share is this Clé de Peau Satin Lipstick in shade 24. This is such a natural looking brown with a stunning terracotta undertone. This is the kind of shade I can easily wear to work. It's not a bold statement color at all, but it still adds such a nice, polished look to my face. Plus, it pairs well with every single blush I mentioned today. But the real star of the show is the formula. It is so creamy and nourishing to the point where it feels less like a lipstick and more like a high end lip treatment that just happens to have amazing color payoff. It truly is such a beautiful luxury treat for my lips, especially as the weather starts getting drier. My next lip favorite is for those days when I want a little more depth and warmth. This is the Guerlain Rouge Satin Lipstick in shade 15. Shade 15 is much deeper, warmer brown compared to the Clé de Peau. You can wear it as a full statement shade, or you can do what I love to do: apply a soft layer, blur it out, and it still looks chic. No matter how you apply it, it's still going to feel comfortable and hydrated on your lips. The formula is so thin that it creates this beautiful watercolor like effect on the lips. It just blends out seamlessly. And on that note, just thinking out loud, would you guys love a dedicated video showcasing all of my fall appropriate lip colors? I could do a video focused entirely on my favorite brown, chocolate, and mocha tone lipsticks. Let me know in the comments if that's something you want, and I would absolutely love to film it for you all. And to finish off the lip products, I have saved the long wearing product for last. This is the Chanel Rouge Allure Lip Lacquer in the shade 558 Incandescent. This is the longest lasting formula I have found this month. I'm getting a serious 8 to 9 hours of wear even through eating and drinking. The longevity is just incredible. The shade is a deep, rich raspberry pink, and it is so versatile. You can, of course, wear it at full opacity, or you can apply a tiny amount and blot it down to get this stunning, everyday berry stain effect. It almost feels like a water tint with some fine shimmer. This is a formula you just need to experience, and honestly, I need to buy more shades of this immediately. Alright, before we jump to the next category, I quickly wanted to give you guys an update on these new refill lipsticks. I reviewed these for you as soon as they launched, and I told you how much I love them. Well, I still have the exact same sentiments, but now that I've worn this so many times, I can better describe the formula. This, to me, is a highly pigmented lip balm with a matte finish. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's not just comfortable, it's creamy and nourishing like a lip balm. My lips have been super dry and chapped, as usual, and I cannot imagine wearing a typical matte lipstick right now. I wore this and it doesn't settle into my lip lines, emphasize dryness, or look patchy. Refi says you need to click 3 times for a bold lip. But honestly, in my experience, just one click worth of product is enough for a full, bold look. I only use a small amount and spread it on my lips. I have been enjoying the shade Maple the most this month. It is a stunning dark chocolate brown shade on me, and I just love it. It's the perfect way to wear a comfortable matte lip color for the fall. Moving on, I don't wear a ton of eye makeup, so I rarely talk about it, but I have been using these two products nonstop just to add a little bit of quick drama. First, the Dior Overcurl Mascara. This adds so much lift and volume to my lashes. It just makes my eyes pop open. I swear by it for that instant boost. And then I pair it with the Kulfi eyeliner in this deep brown shade. Now, I'm not sure if I've shared this before, but the Kulfi eyeliners are seriously budge proof. They're super creamy, so they don't tug or pull my delicate eye area, which is so important. You have about 30 seconds to quickly smudge out the liner if you want, and then it sets down. Once it sets, it lasts all day. I use the Merit dual ended eye brush to quickly smudge it, and then I top it up with the darkest shade in the Givenchy bronzer. Yes, I use the bronzer as an eyeshadow. I know it sounds boring, but it's a completely no fuss, simple eye look that takes me seconds. It's the perfect quick routine for adding definition and getting out the door. Alright, let's switch gears and talk about hair care. Since the weather has started to cool down, my hair is getting noticeably drier and frizzier. Because of that, I usually switch from conditioner to using a hair mask exclusively, and I have been using the Gisu honey infused hair mask pretty consistently for about 2 months now, and I absolutely love it. I was a little skeptical at first, thinking a hair mask this rich might be too heavy and actually weigh down my hair. But it absolutely does not. While it is thick, it does such an amazing job at moisturizing with no added weight. My hair is still so bouncy and manageable, it's incredibly easy to detangle, and I have noticeably less frizz. It does have a faint, sweet scent, but in my opinion, it doesn't linger too much. I highly recommend it if your hair is craving some major moisture right now. Since the Gisu hair mask doesn't really have a lasting smell, and I absolutely love when my hair smells fresh and clean. You know that little whiff of scent you get when your hair is bouncing? To get that, I've been loving the Fleur Mrs. Smith hair and body mist. This smells like a candied apple with just a hint of juicy watermelon in it. So when I spray it on my hair, it makes my hair smell very fresh and clean, almost like I have used a high end apple scented shampoo. It is a delicious scent, not overly tart or overly sweet, and I actually love it more on my hair than I do on my body. It just gives my hair that perfect, clean, and subtly sweet smell that lasts for a couple of hours without being overpowering. It is the ideal way to finish off my hair care routine and add a little bit of fun. Next up in my October favorites is my splurge category. And the fragrance I have been using is by Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. By Kilian is one of my all time favorite fragrance houses. Their fragrances are truly top notch. And yes, they are expensive, but honestly, I believe they are worth the money. At least the ones I've tried, if you budget it well. I actually got this travel size in a set that I bought a couple of years ago and I use it carefully. But trust me, one of these days, I will absolutely splurge on the full size bottle of the Love Don't Be Shy. This is a fragrance with the notes of toasted marshmallow, the bright orange blossom, and a sharp neroli. This combination is the real magic. For me, this is not a heavy gourmand scent. It's not sickly sweet or suffocating. The marshmallow is there, but the orange blossom and the neroli cut through that sweetness perfectly. They keep it light, airy, and a little bit green. So instead of smelling like a bakery, it smells playful and sexy. It gives you a warm, soft cloud without any heavy density. In terms of performance, I easily get 6 to 8 hours of wear on my skin, which is fantastic for a luxury scent. And sillage is moderate. People can definitely smell this on you within the first 2 or 3 hours of application. It's not a shy scent, just not a screaming one either. If you enjoy warm, inviting scents, you need to sample this one. It's worth the hype because it's so much more complex than just sugar. All right, my friends, that wraps up my October favorites video. I think I had a good mix of some new and some old favorites. What do you guys think? Do you like any of the products I've shared with you today? What are some of your favorite products this month? Let me know in the comments down below. I have a lot more fun videos coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye for now.